Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and you know, it's been a while since I've done a pickup video, and I've had a pretty good month, so you know, I thought I would get on and do a pickup video and share what I found with you guys and share the deals that I found. And we're going to start off with the pawn shop, and this was probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I went in there again today and I got a bunch more stuff, but this one was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And does anybody remember these carrying cases? Doesn't this bring back a lot of memories? So he had in his display case Game Gear and 4 games. And you know, they're not expensive games, and you know, but what the heck, you know, NBA Jam, there's Lion King, X-Men, you know, nothing big. But 4 games here, and then there's actually a game in the system too. And so we tested it out, went to tested it out with the adapter. Worked great, and I said, you know, let's try it with batteries. And we put batteries in it, and just didn't work. And so he went back and got fresh batteries, put them in, and tried it 2 or 3 different times, and just didn't work. And you know, I always kind of thought maybe there's a little corrosion in there or something, you know. I just thought, I think I can get that to work. But he said, you know what, 45 bucks. And I'm like, yeah, you can't beat that. There's a chance that I could get it to work with batteries, and that's what I did. I went home, I cleaned those contacts, and boom, it worked with batteries. Had to put a little work into it, but very glad to have the Game Gear back in my collection. The carrying case and everything, really cool. I'm gonna have to go get Sonic the Hedgehog for my Game Gear. That was one of the games I had back in the day, and yeah, so very cool. Very, very happy to add that to my collection. And then today, went down to the pawn shop, and I went in and paid some on a layaway. I have a couple of expensive PS1 games that I've been paying on every couple 3 weeks or every month, and he has a really good layaway program there, so you know, just been chipping away at it. And I went in there today, and he had a stack of NES games, he had a stack of Super NES games, and even a Dreamcast game in there. And he's like, man, I'm just kind of going through these, getting ready to price them, and you want to go through them and check them out? And I'm like, yeah, man. So I pulled out the NES games that I wanted that I didn't have, and was pretty pumped. He made me a good deal. He said $5 a piece, and grabbed a couple of Super NES games and a Dreamcast game, and so I walked out with 10 games and $5 a piece. It was awesome. First one is one I was not familiar with. So I thought, man, I got to try this out. I've never played it before, and that's Dragon Power. And man, you know, I popped this in and played for like 5 minutes, and it certainly was not what I was expecting. It's, you know, it's got a kung fu dude there doing a kick, and but you know, when I popped it in, turned it on, it's like an overhead view, almost like Zelda. And the map, it looks kind of like Zelda that I was running around on, and very cartoony graphics. You know, cartoony cutscenes and stuff, but yeah. So you know, I'm happy to have this, and I'm wanting to explore it more because I think it might have something to offer. I don't know. Never heard of it though. Let me know. Have you ever played Dragon Power on the NES? I'd love to hear from you if you have. So then, a game that I had back in the day, or at least that I rented, I can't remember if I owned it or rented it or what, but I did play the heck out of it, and that's Baseball, the Nintendo branded Nintendo version of Baseball. And you know, it's not a great game, but it was fun back in the day, back then when you didn't have, you know, some of those better baseball games. So I was glad to add it. And then Double Dragon, and this one actually came with the instructions as well. So very cool, man. Glad to add Double Dragon, and I think this is a single player game on the NES, unfortunately, but still, I love beat 'em ups, I love Double Dragon, so happy to have it in the collection, man. And then these 3 games here that I'm going to show you are the ones that I really wanted, And I had this one before and traded it off. Tiny Toon Adventures. This is a great platformer, and if you love Super Mario Bros. 3, you'll love Tiny Toon Adventures. It's cool, man. Very fun, very easy to pick up and play, and I think the grandkids are going to love this game. This is a fun game. I recommend Tiny Toon Adventures to anybody, man. Love it. So really happy to get it back in my collection. And then I love Metal Gear, but I'd never played Snake's Revenge. And so I'm looking forward to popping this in and checking it out. I don't know what to expect on it. I really haven't heard much about it. But Snake's Revenge, really happy to add it. And then one that I've had recommended to me several times in the comments of some of my NES videos, and last time I had it suggested in the comment as well, in the comments, as an underrated NES game. And my buddy over the Kinda Cool YouTube channel, Jason, he recommended this to me a long time ago, a couple of years ago. Jackal from Konami. And I popped this one in, had to, and played it, and man, it is cool. I'm glad you guys recommended it. Awesome game. And I would say, yeah, it's probably underrated since I'd never heard of it before. But it's like a run and gun, but you're in a Jeep, and it's vertical. At least the first level is, anyway. And yeah, you can run over dudes. Very cool. Man, I can see getting into this. This is going to be fun. I'm really happy to add it to my collection as well. And then the Super NES games, I picked up a couple of those. Well, first of all, I better show you this other NES game. So check this out. Quick Play. Well, it's Dragon Spirit. But this is an old rental case. And on the inside, you got the instructions. Do you remember these? I do. Man, I remember these cases. I remember having instructions, you know, on the inside. But Dragon Spirit for the NES. Now, I never had one that had the quick play, like, you know, that looking thing there. But it's really cool. I'm going to have to try to see if I can figure out what rental store this came from. It's always kind of interesting to me. But yeah, Dragon Spirit. I love Dragon Spirit on the TurboGrafx 16. And I do know that there's a twist to this one. It's not the one for one from, you know, like the arcade and the TurboGrafx 16, and I've actually heard people really dig this game, so I was happy to add it to my collection. And then two Super NES games. Now these games we rented back in the day, and Super Star Wars and Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Really cool, man. And Super Star Wars, me and my cousin rented this, my cousin Thomas, and we were up till like 2 or 3 in the morning playing it. Man, these games are brutally difficult, just let me tell you. But we were playing this one by chance, and he's over there playing, and all of a sudden he like kind of freaked out, and he's like, dude, I just had like a convulsion or something, man. It was almost like a seizure. And so he kind of, it freaked us out a little bit, and he stopped playing for a while, but it's only happened to him once that I know of, and it was playing Super Star Wars, so I don't know, man. Probably was the, you know, nacho cheese Doritos and those big Mountain Dews with big gulp Mountain Dews, you know. Yeah, that might have had something to do with it, I don't know. Those were the days, so. But anyway, so yeah, that was my Patriot Pawn Shop pickup. Patriot Pawn in Sterling, Colorado, Nick down there. And you know their slogan is an honest, or a pawn shop you can trust. And it's very, very true. He's an honest dude. And yeah, it's really a unique pawn shop. It's clean and orderly and very helpful staff. And I might have got this deal from him because, you know, Metallica was in Denver and they closed the shop early yesterday and went to the Metallica concert. And then they were still at work today, and yeah, he looked a little rough and a little tired. So I might have caught him on a good day, but thanks, Nick. And if you see this video, huge ups to Patriot Pawn in Sterling, Colorado, man. All right, and then I made a really good trade with my buddy Jason over at the Kinda Cool channel, and I picked up some I don't know, a couple of things that I've been wanting for a long time. And he had mentioned that he might trade this to me, and that's the Jaguar Game Drive. Now, this is like an EverDrive. It's got the, the little micro SD card in it. And I have the entire Jaguar library on here. It also you can play Jaguar CD games off of this. And I really think that's the way to go because, the Jaguar CD is notorious for breaking down and being very touchy. And so, like Battlemorph, I've been able to play it. Primal Rage, some really cool Jag CD games, and looking forward to exploring that more. Very awesome, man. Very happy to get this, Jason. Thank you. And he threw this in just as kind of a gimme. Victory Run for the TurboGrafx 16, and anytime I can add a turbo chip to my collection, I'm happy about that, man. And then one of the big ones here, and as you hear Discord going off, I might want to just plug our Discord. We do have a Discord, the Poor Man's Discord. There's a link on our channel. I'll try to remember to put one in the description as well. We'd love to have you join us. A lot of retro game talk and pictures of collections and YouTube videos and just all kinds of stuff. We have a good time. And while I'm saying that, shout out to Officially Captured, the admin on the site. And he's been awesome. He's been kind enough to just build the site out for me, and we kind of struck up a friendship, so thank you so much, dude. I can't thank you enough. And we also just made Kiwi a moderator, so man, come over. If you like retro games, man, join the the Poor Man's Retro Game Room Discord. Wow, I'm getting old, man. But the other game that I got from Jason over at Kinda Cool, and this is an upgrade for me. We swapped games, and that's Super C. Mine was pretty ragged, and so in the trade, I sent him my Super Mario Brothers black box. I had it complete in box, pretty decent shape for a Super Mario Brothers game, and so I was happy to ship that off to him, and I shipped a few other things, of course. And then we swapped Super C boxes. This thing is in mint condition. It's perfect. And so I was just so happy to have this. This is the only Contra game I've ever beat. It's my favorite Contra game. Absolutely love it. So nostalgic to me, so I'm really, really pumped to have that in my collection. And then on the same vein, my kids and wife got together and they got me a couple of Father's Day presents, and Super Mario Brothers 3 complete in box. Really super happy about Super Mario Brothers 3, having it complete in box. And they couldn't have done a better job. Just excellent. And I had the cart and the manual, and they got a kind of a deal on this because it came with the cart, no manual, but the foam pieces in there, the box is just in excellent condition, as long the cart is as well. And so I have a really good manual. And the manual that I have, actually, I looked it up, it goes with this box and cart. So really pumped to have Super Mario Brothers 3 complete in box in my collection, man. So awesome. Very, very happy about that. So very cool. The other Father's Day present was Defender 2000, and I pitched in on this one because they were in a game store, a retro game store in Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, my wife was visiting my daughter, and they called up and asked me what I was looking for, and I said, man, I'll help out if they've got Defender 2000 for the Jaguar, and they actually had it. Got a great deal on it, actually. It was the exact same amount that it sells for on eBay, which is $75, unfortunately loose. But it's worth it. It's awesome. I think I'm up to 38 Jaguar games out of 50 in my collection. So, and this one was a big one. This is a blast. It's an updated version of Defender. It also has the arcade port on it, and from what I can tell, it's a perfect arcade port. Defender back then. That shouldn't be that hard either, but it's very cool to have that. And then there's kind of the original arcade game with updated graphics, and then there's the Defender 2000 game, which is a complete remake, tons of power-ups, fast-paced action, just a blast to play. Graphics are amazing on it, and man, I put 2 or 3 hours into this, just playing it straight through, getting extra ships, and when I would die I would get another ship, and just kept going. And what a fun game, great soundtrack, super fast arcade action. Man, can't recommend this enough. If you have a Jaguar, check out Defender 2000, or if you have the Jag Drive, make sure and download it. So anyway, and I think I did miss one from the pawn shop today. Shenmue. Now I had this, and I had it with the manual and everything, but I got a case, and I didn't have, the front part of the case, the cover and the back cover and everything. And so I bought one of these cases off Amazon and was keeping it in there. Well, Nick down there had one, complete in case, and it's in excellent condition as far as the discs, no scratches, the manuals are good, it's got the passport, all that stuff, man. So I was able to actually add this. I'll probably, sell or trade my other copy, but really glad to have this. I had this back in the day and played the heck out of it, man. This was a groundbreaking game back then for the Sega Dreamcast. Really showed off what the Dreamcast could do. So, well, make sure I didn't forget anything else. I think that's it. And I kind of saw you looking at my shirt, and yeah, that's the shirt. It's for sale in the merch shop. Pretty awesome shirt, man. Comfortable, heavy. Yeah, you might try one out. And we also have memberships available as well. Members get to see videos first, of course. And if you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And hitting that thumbs up really does help the algorithm for a small channel like mine. So I really do appreciate it if you can do that. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for sticking around, and until next time, we'll catch you later.